right when I was going to press record, Marcus got on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's just walking around taking a phone call while the recording sign is on in the studio.
You mean just the little red button?
Yeah. But yeah, that's the recording sign.
That's the sign when we're recording.
That's
so
a
technically,
recording sign.
it's the.
Where did he find the big D20?
Oh, he's got the big D20 on him?
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's about to make a really tough decision.
I didn't know
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
I didn't know that existed.
Oh, no, he sat it down.
Oh God, it looks like he rolled a 1.
What did you roll? An 18.
He rolled an
Rolled
18.
So that was
okay.
a successful phone call.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, perfect.
Excellent. You can't hear this, but it's playing.
Dun-dun-dun.
That's what it sounds like. Because you don't have your headphones.
You don't have your headphones on.
You're familiar. Here's the end is coming. And that's the theme song, and then it goes into.
And he said, "Hi, I'm Dane.
Hey, everybody,
Holland.
I'm Dane Holland.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer."
Marcus, I am Electric Man.
And I'm Austin Tiny Zent.
And we are Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And we're back with Seen It Through the Grapevine, baby. And just as we've gone 1 through 6, it's episode 7 of this sub-show. What would this be?
It's
not a
What segment?
It's not a segment because it's the whole episode.
It's
I
the-
don't know.
It's the first
It's a.
of the third trilogy.
Yeah, but I mean,
Are you talking
Seen
about?
It Through the Grapevine. Like,
Oh.
what would that be? Is that a
series.
sub-show?
It's
an-
a
a
series.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like
yeah,
our
yeah.
Seen It series.
Yeah. Okay, I like
I
that.
thought you meant with the stores.
Oh, no, that also gets a little confusing with all the numbers, but
A skip scene anthology.
skip scene anthology.
Well, anthology implies that they have no connection, and these all are all connected
They're all
in the same
connected.
universe.
Oh, well, I figured that after we get into it and we started doing the other ones, they'd become an anthology because we get into like Back to the Future, maybe Batman.
Well, if you press shuffle on Spotify whenever you play all these, then you've got yourself an anthology.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. So eventually, ding dong, bing bong. Oh, Mando's
I'm
back.
so bad at this. Like, all of a sudden, because for so long I was like, I need to mute my phone, and now I cannot seem to mute my phone.
That's because it used to be you had an iPhone that you just clicked a switch on the side and it would mute it for you, and now you don't.
I mean, that's true. Look, that is the one and only singular thing that I liked better about the iPhone was the little flipping mute switch. Just done. Except in the OtterBox casing, it's built for someone with a toddler-sized pinky in order to flip said switch.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, he had to outsource me with my long fingernails.
Or use a key or a pocket knife.
You shouldn't have to use another tool.
I shouldn't
To
need a
click one
tool
button on your phone.
just to mute my phone.
Well, I've got a tool in my hand that's a remote.
Oh,
And yeah, I know. I said it quickly so that way there'd be no pause in the moment. Your mic isn't on.
I got up to fix the
We're
thing.
watching The Force Awakens. Did we say that yet? Episode
Yes.
7, The Force Awakens of
Yes.
Star Wars,
Of the stores.
of the stores. And once again, it's happening a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But it's not as long ago as the previous films that we
True.
saw.
It's like 30 years sooner.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a crawl that happens in space, talking about Luke vanishing, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
going
much.
on. Luke is gone. Things are weird.
Nobody knows where he's at.
No one knows. We know.
He's hermited himself.
Oh. And they stuck with the opening
Ooh,
scene
ooh,
of
look
being
at that.
of being a spaceship.
Just
Oh.
stormtrooper crotch, just right out of the
Yeah.
gate, boy.
They let you know that they're not playing any games
No,
anymore.
he packing heat.
Oh boy, Yaga.
I really like this opening scene of us getting to meet Poe Dameron in the desert.
Yeah, and what's that guy's name? Laura Santeca or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I wish we got more of him before.
Yeah, me too.
Or at least, like, even if he's going to die in this first scene, spoiler, you know, I don't know, just dig in a little bit deeper with some of these, like, storylines.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like what you get, you wanting that a deeper kind of part of this whole resistance, sneaky, here's information that you need kind of thing. Andor, the TV show, you get that. Like, that's what you're getting in Andor is more of those characters of, I wonder, like, what they went through to kind of get to the point of, the heroes getting the information, basically, or the big moment happening.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what Andor is.
Just off of that first look of Poe Dameron, like, he reminds me a lot of the guy that played Moon Knight.
That's weird. He does look a lot like that.
Uncanny to Oscar Isaac for some
That's
reason.
so strange. Oscar Isaac is both of those people, Marcus. He's Moon Knight and he's Poe Dameron, just in case you were wondering.
That's crazy.
So he's getting all the info from Lor San Tekka, which is such a good name.
Yeah, well, and I mean more of his relationship to the Force, because doesn't he have and so I don't know. It's just kind of all left to whatever, and you don't need everything explained. But I guess in my head, I'm going to be saying directions I wish this trilogy may
Yes.
went, much like I did with the last ones.
Gotcha.
So.
I love this little droid.
BB-8 is awesome. He's a
is
little ball. and he
BB
just
great.
rolls around. Yeah.
Why are you still making sounds, phone? I turned your volume down.
It's on theme. It's at least Star
How?
Wars. I mean, it's Mando, so the time frame's a little different.
I'm pulling every bar down.
Kylo Ren's spaceship has showed up, and he is hunting down everybody here. And Poe...
He had a laser pointer.
Yeah, the laser pointer is a
little
USB
triangular
drive.
USB laser pointer
it's neat.
thing.
But Poe gives BB-8 the information he just received, and he gives him the old, what was it, Wolf? What is the movie?
White Fang.
White Fang, yeah, where he's like, go on, go be with your own kind. And BB-8 doesn't want to leave him behind, but he shoos him away so that way he can get the information away safely.
Well, he's a good boy.
He's such a good boy. And the one of the stormtroopers, we find out later.
Yeah, not a clone trooper.
Not a clone trooper. These are stormtroopers. The clone troopers are gone for all I know. Pretty sure after the Clone War. Or no. When did the clones all go away?
I don't know. When did the clones all go away?
That was Order 69.
Order 69.
We need to get rid of the clones. Nice.
One of the stormtroopers in this is Finn. And he's one of our main crew eventually. But he kind of struggles on shooting innocent people. And, well, he doesn't shoot them at all. And Kylo shows up, and he does one of the coolest things ever whenever a blaster fire is coming at him, and he just stops it midair, and it just hangs there. And the sound of it, like as he's walking past it, whenever you're in the theater, it just the sound of that just blast, a laser blast just hanging there is so ominous.
I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways, not in every way, it was almost like a new Darth Vader. You know, like a similar kind of feel.
For sure.
Until he got like whiny bitch boy.
Yeah, which was very Anakin, so that
True.
kind of lines up.
I mean, it was his papa.
At the beginning of this whole thing, though, when he just makes his intro, and you see this helmeted robo voice man that is completely way OP. You know he's OP. He just stopped a god dang laser blast midair with the Force, and he left it there hanging out like just a bright little nightlight. Just like, just in case you guys can't tell how menacing I am, here's a light so you can look better.
Yeah. And he's not even paying attention to it. Like, he's not continually holding his hand there to have it linger. He stops it with his hand, and then he just walks past it, and it just stays there. It's so cool. But then he's trying to intimidate Poe, and Poe's like, come on, man. I'm one of the main characters of this movie. You can't do that to me right now. And then he orders everybody, all the stormtroopers, to just kill everyone there because he's trying to get the information that he needed. And he doesn't know that BB-8's already left with it. But that's where we see Finn having real trouble trying to kill people, which it's a cool way of them showing who he is amongst all the other stormtroopers that look the same, instead of just having his voice come through or something, because one of the people that were at this camp, their hand was bloodied from being shot, and they kind of put it up on his face and drag it down. So he's got this this blood from fingers of an innocent person kind of dragged across his face.
I just want to know how that lightsaber is still just sticking out of the ground like that.
Which one?
Oh, that was
right there in the front.
Oh, that's blaster fire that's traveling towards us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. And
and it really does. It really does
looks
look
like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I was like, the ground has a lightsaber like erection, and I'm very confused.
Yeah, what is going on?
Well, it's because somebody dropped it through the floor of a spaceship while they were holding it hilt up, and that was a mistake that they never knew they shouldn't make.
Oopsie.
I will say I do like how they added dirt to the armor, because in all the other movies, you don't see the stormtroopers being dirty. They're just that pristine white.
Yeah,
that was a nice touch.
Nice to show that they've actually been into some shit. And then we have Phasma on the ship whenever, let's see, Kylo has captured Poe.
You might as well just hit the button real quick.
For Phasma? Is this a step on me kind of situation?
No. Oh, I was just going to say she was hot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, she's a dummy mommy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah. No. Not you step on me. I'm saying a step on me situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just to reiterate the step on. Yeah, there we go. And
walk on my balls.
Walk on. Yeah.
I wouldn't go to there. I don't enjoy being trod upon in that location.
At the most extreme.
Kylo captured Poe, and they went back on the big ship, and that's where Phasma has approached Finn as, you didn't shoot anybody. There was a weapon malfunction or something like that, and she's having him report that weapon malfunction. So she knows that he's lying, and now he's scared. And then we get to my favorite Star Wars character in the next scene, and it's Rey scavenging, because that's what she does on Jakku. And it's so cool. And this little shot here of showing like how big and like massive is that a Star Destroyer, I think, that was down?
Yeah.
That she was searching.
So cool.
Yeah. And then it shows just how tiny she is in comparison to the size of it.
Yeah, she was just one of the engines.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like a port.
You got to give it to them. I think they introduced Rey awesome.
Well.
She had a great introduction for sure.
And her music, just that light sounding, like just simple music at the beginning.
It's a pan flute.
Yeah.
Is it a pan
sledding
flute?
down the sand.
I believe so. I think it's also cool to show like how massive that engine was, and then they have 8 more just like it stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, and she, I really like her speeder as well, which, I mean, it's almost kind of like Luke's, but flipped up on its side and altered. Just the way, just kind of an appearance that it has.
Looks like she's driving a sand tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shot of that down Star Destroyer. So
cinematography in this, so good.
Yeah, like everything looks old like it's supposed to. And they give you a nice like scale, because,
yes.
And it seems very real, like looking, as opposed to some of the other things.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and they went back to
like this
practical
character.
effects, too.
Honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan of how this character looked.
The blob face man.
Yeah, the one that's like rations or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he was just very allergic to bees.
And there's only bees there. That's all there is bees.
4 portions. I can do 2.5 portions.
He's got bees horn to hole.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we get to see what she's turning in these parts that she's scavenging for, and it's just so she can have food. And like
It looks
Tiny
like
said-
Yoda's brain,
Yeah, it kind of does. It's a brain muffin.
or just like the top of his skull. It just looks like a Yoda head
Yoda brain muffin.
that she eats.
Head
And
cheese.
the practical effect too of watching that become a thing in
Yeah.
that little cup is so cool. But she's just kind of eating after a long day of gathering, and like Tiny said, they're screwing her over in what she's turning in the amount of what portions, is that what we called it?
I think it was portions.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's a Yoda bran muffin. Is that what it is? Yoda brain muffin.
Yeah, Yoda brain muffin.
Yoda brain muffin. The taste that makes you go ham.
It's neat that she has a Rebel pilot's helmet as well. Or is that a Rebel helmet, or is
Yeah,
it
that's
just
Rebel,
a?
yeah.
It is Rebel. Okay, cool.
You can tell
I didn't know
because
if it
it
was
has a rebel
Republic or not.
symbol.
I didn't know if it was Republic or Rebel.
No.
Oh, yeah, but you're right. That is that. But she hears some commotion, and that's BB-8 is about to get scavenged by this really cool practical effect, like mammoth horse thing with a robot head and a tiny man on its back.
I mean, I feel like these movies did really good with a mix of practical and CG effects.
Oh yeah,
Unlike, the prequel trilogy.
Right. Well, and that's just they look amazing.
Yeah,
they really do.
It's
look
like a return to
great.
its roots, It's really nice.
and something that's cool is Star Wars trading cards. Like whenever each movie comes out, not many movies do they have trading cards for, but Star Wars is one of them. And I feel like a lot of these scenes, just 10 seconds at a time, are like you could put this on a card. Like this moment could be in a card. The moment to where she's tiny with a big engine there. And there's just so many moments in this cinematography-wise that you could just throw it on a trading card. It'd be perfect.
It's almost like it was shot by J.J. Abrams or something.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, weird.
Strange. And the Moon Knight thing, too? This is odd.
Dude,
So many weird movie.
So many weird coincidences
Yeah,
here.
it's strange. She fixes BB's little antenna, and now he's like, "You're my mom now." She's like, "Go away." He's like, "No, I'm gonna come with you now." Oh, we're back on the ship with Poe, and Kylo has got him in his little fun chamber, and he's torturing his brain.
That's called his pleasure chamber.
His pleasure chamber. I apologize.
Yeah.
He learned it from his dead grandfather, who also had his pleasure chamber.
Christian Grey.
No.
Oh, that's from the 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Right?
That's his
That's
grandpa,
funny.
ain't it? You know, because it's
Gray
his pleasure
Vader.
chamber.
Gray Vader. Greater. Darth Greater.
Darth
There
Greater.
There it is. We eventually got there. But yeah, he's sitting there torturing Poe's mind to get the info out of it, and I believe he succeeds. And we're back to Rey just doing her daily, but she's got BB-8 with her now, and homeboy that's running the little station there really wants to buy him. She's like, "No, I don't think so." And he offers her a lot of portions.
Yeah.
Like a lot. But she's like, "No, I don't like that."
And she got a cool like stick too, like walking stick / weapon
Her
stick.
bow staff?
Yeah,
It's
it is
awesome.
very cool.
I love her bow
I
staff.
wish we saw more action with it.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would make a lightsaber concept for that for her.
Yeah, that would be dope.
But that's what everybody thought was going to happen, was she was going to be one of the few, like Darth Maul, to have a dual-bladed lightsaber because she's so used to a bow staff already, it would make sense. But in the end, spoiler, that's not what happens. She just gets a regular one. But then again, she
then
did only
buries
train
them
with...
in the desert.
From what I
so-
understand, they could have
Not
very
hers.
well planned something like that, but then it just never came to fruition because of the different directions that
Yeah.
the movies went.
with different directors.
Right.
Also, we never got to see the opposite side of her lightsaber. Spoiler.
The opposite side of it? Oh, no, they've made replicas of it, and there's only one side that opens.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, because we're going to get more Rey. We get more of her later. So,
Well, we did say it
Oh,
here
we do?
first.
the evil Rey, we're getting way too into the later time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll
we
just
gotta-
keep talking about it right now.
Yeah. Is that a pudgy stormtrooper?
Miss Finn. I don't think so. I don't think he's pudgy, is he?
is that Finn? Oh, well, maybe it was just the ankle and his armor made him look fat.
Yeah.
I was about to feel included.
Well, they should have some different size armors.
You
but
know,
it didn't,
I feel like
all about the
I
same.
feel like
they got to eat too, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
And what else do they have that's pleasurable?
Yeah.
Killing
Yeah.
and eating.
Phasma's walking around, so there's
Yeah.
that.
Well, she's the only chick stormtrooper
As far as we know, yeah.
as we know. So
I wanted more of her too.
it's a real Smurf type situation up in that piece.
Oh God, it's a real.
oh man.
She's a busy lady.
She's the only stormtrooperette.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do
That's
like
why she's the cum-hander.
the-
Oh my. Yeah, the commander.
That's what I said. Cum-hander.
Yeah. I do like the splashes of humor still that they have in it, just like in the old ones, because Poe and Finn both are very much humorous in dangerous situations, because even when they're trying to escape, they forget the old tow rope on their little spaceship that they're running away on, but they get along really quickly. Finn lets him know like he doesn't have an actual name, because when he was taken when he was younger and trained, like they're just given a designation. I'm trying to
FN2187.
FN2187. Is that the one?
If I don't get it right, Jessica will
It's
tell
got to
me.
be close. But so Poe's like, no, I'm not calling you that. I'm calling you Finn. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, Finn, I like that. So then they become best friends forever.
Well, I mean, he named him. Technically, that's his dad now.
That's it. That is his dad. He's been adopted. And one of the very few shots that we get of Phasma looking out and watching the escape of these two. And with the direction of having a defector within the stormtroopers and being one of the main characters, they kind of like just brush that away. Like that's such an interesting way to have a main character.
Yeah.
Is someone
It really
that's
is.
come from the other side.
Especially if you look into Legends, what used to originally be canon, where they, were taken as children, but they were brainwashed into they were a stormtrooper. Like they had no independent thoughts of their own. So if that is still canon, then it didn't take with him for whatever reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that could give it a whole new dynamic.
Right.
Yeah, well, see, I'm sitting here craving a like less organized but more fanatical. I mean, I know that's crazy to say after they slaughtered that village, but like this Dark Lord from somewhere else, kind of, they think has come, and he's just, it's like almost like the new rebels, if you will. Like, you know what I mean? A more scrappy force, but like powerful because they're so in tune with the dark side. But that adds like this new layer of like horror and maybe even like mind control, like you say, like you're not doing your meditations and like, I don't know.
Which would have been cool.
I think that would kind of help tie all that in. And for me, it just seems like they wanted in this movie to be like, it's so much bigger than the Death Star. When it could have just been, wow, this is like this really small knit, like people, like, you know, you can still have the same characters, Phasma and all of them, but they're just like, it's not like on this huge scale yet.
Right. Instead of the First Order, they're more scrappy, like you said.
Yet
like
extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Like to where they can Jedi mind trick a lot of people at once or create devastating effects.
Well, because even in that, it would
but not blow up 6 planets all at once with
Right.
the new Death Star.
Right.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Because it would have been neat to have someone like Kylo Ren, and he's not just going out and getting anyone to fight for his cause. He's only finding the strongest people possible to where they have fewer, but like you said, they are powerful, like a powerful few.
Right.
Which that could have been what the Knights of Ren.
Yeah,
the Knights of Ren could have been that.
Because we never got a chance to see anything with those folks.
And so that's why we get these
Couple
stormtroopers
scenes,
defecting, because they're like, I mean, I get it. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's just I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but I think y'all get it.
well, they
Yeah.
didn't go anywhere into the Knights of Ren. They just, you hear about them one time because they were the elite of the elite, you know, because you had Stormtrooper, then you had Death Trooper, which that was the elite Stormtrooper. And then so the Knights of Ren were chosen from Death Troopers as the elite of that group. So you don't get any more badass and fanatically crazy than the Knights of Ren. And you don't even, I think you see them once.
They
don't-
chase him down in the desert later, and then they show up again in the third of the trilogy.
But you get
not
no
much.
background, nothing.
Not
You just
really
you just hear that they exist,
Right.
and they just look like Death Troopers.
Yeah, it's one of the many things that could have gone
Yes.
a totally different direction.
They're coming back to restore elements. Like there's factions of the remnants of the Empire, because we're already in the remnants of it. You know, we're growing up in the battlefield of those old wars, and so it's like there's a power grab now, and somebody from somewhere else comes, and it's like we got to restore what Palpatine has done, but we're gonna have to rebuild that empire in a sense, not already have it established.
Yeah, because the First Order, it's like, well, the Empire never really left. They just hopped on a ship and moved away. Like, and they're still around. They're just floating around now, you know, with Kylo.
Right.
Like, it's basically
I feel
like
like they
the
should've-
Empire. Like, they don't have control over the galaxy anymore, but it really is like they just hopped on a shuttle and left, and now they're still
Back and better than ever.
Well,
Yeah.
everything's still shiny. They still have a bunch of funds. They still, you know,
I would have liked a more gritty villain, maybe, that's trying to scrap his way back to the top.
it would have set them apart from the Empire.
Exactly. And then still felt like Star Wars, just kind of a reverse thing. But anyway, I can sit here and wish all day. But
Yeah, and we'll do plenty of that as we're watching this.
yeah,
But so Finn and Poe's ship goes down on Jakku, and Finn finds Poe's jacket, and then the little ship blows up. So he thinks
He thinks his dad's dead.
He thinks his dad just died in the desert. So he's like, Father, I will continue your legacy by wearing your jacket on my head in the desert. So he, you know, strips off all of his stormtrooper armor, which is also symbolism, like very in-your-face symbolism of him being like, I'm shedding off this old life and I'm now headed off to my new one.
It's like a rebirthing.
Yeah, from his father.
And now he's rolling around in his underwear wearing his daddy's jacket.
Yeah.
Like we all did as kids.
Like all of us. And it is a cool jacket. So I don't blame him for wanting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he stumbles upon the camp that this is the place where Rey has gone to like wash all the stuff that she finds whenever she's scavenging in order to sell it. And he goes over to a trough and starts drinking the water. And they did a good job of making that seem real nasty, but also him being very desperate. Then he sees Rey, He's like, whoa, man. Whoa. Which, I mean, can't blame him.
That is the angle.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
I meant to do this. Just because it's only fair.
Yeah.
And
Inaccurate.
Inaccurate. But she gives him a good little step on me moment to where he tries to get all up in her business, and she smacks him down. And BB's there ready to just zap him too.
He was starting to say, I can see you can handle that staff. Let me be your bow.
Oh, okay. That's good. That should be on a Valentine card.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a position on my staff for you.
On my bow staff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tries to do the stereotypical hero of, grab her arm and run away. And she's like, let go of me. She's faster than him anyway. And she knows the area.
Yeah, she's like, I have to save you.
Yeah.
Not you save me.
Right. He's got this little hero complex on him. She's like, let go. And here it happens again. She's like, stop it. I've got this. But they're getting chased down pretty good through here. It's a good little chase scene of them being shot from the sky.
These pauses are horrifying, though.
Yeah, well, Daisy Ridley's she's a good actor.
Look at his face too.
Oh yeah,
like they both become skull-like.
Yeah,
it looks like a little small xenomorph mouth is about to pop out of hers.
Yeah, it does. Man, it's a good scream. That's probably the faces I would make if I were being chased down by a starship. But they find the hunk of junk Millennium Falcon sitting there in the desert because at first. Finn points over to that one. He's like, we can take that one. She's like, no, it's a piece of junk. And then she's going towards another one, but they blow the other one up. So it's like the junk will do. And then they go to the Falcon.
Unaware, it's one of the most iconic ships in the entire series.
Yep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And everybody knows it because it's like the most prolific smuggler ship from back in the day.
Yeah.
Except them. They don't know it.
They
have no idea. No. They're stupid.
I mean, it's the one that blew up the second Death Star.
It is a war hero in and amongst itself.
Or at least it helped. I mean, it was in that battle. So
yeah,
that's true.
And it's been piloted by both Han and
Lando.
Like both of them.
Two heroes of the
rebellion.
Yeah. Heroes, but also scum. Mm-hmm. As far as the galaxy is considered.
It depends on the point of view, because most rebels could be considered that, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Scum.
But we got another neat chase scene with Rey flying the Falcon, and she knows the area well, so she's got the upper hand of flying through these ships that she's scavenged personally, which is pretty neat. And they're both pretty excited that they made it. They made it out of there. Oh, she does a cool stall move. I'm remembering. We don't get to see that because we're doing 10 seconds at a time, but the gun is stuck in a certain position where it's just pointed basically straight down, like it cannot move. So she goes straight up and stalls to where it's coming down to where the gun is actually pointed at the other ship, blows it up, then restarts the engine and takes off. It's so cool.
She's a very exceptional pilot.
Yes.
Dare I say, as good, if not better than Han.
Or Anakin.
Anakin.
I don't care about Anakin.
Anakin was the pilot, I think, of all the characters we know. I think he was known as the one with the most skill.
And in the words
I think it was Han. He did the Kelso run in less than 12 parsecs.
Well, I mean, isn't it like a sign of being force sensitive? They're extremely good pilots, or maybe I'm misunderstanding.
I think that's a midi-chlorian type justification. I mean, there is such a thing in that universe as just sheer skill.
Right. Well, I mean, Poe Dameron is that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, there is this weird thing with Poe too, because
anybody in Star Wars could be force sensitive, couldn't they?
Right. But there is a comic, like a canon comic of Poe, to where have I mentioned it on the show before?
I don't know if you have, but I think I know what you're talking about. Where it's in one of the comics where his parents grow up next to this tree that's force sensitive.
Yes, his mom and Luke go on a mission together, and they find these two force trees. So she is tasked with taking one. It's a tree imbued with a force. I don't know. It just has a major connection with it, to where it's just radiating with it. But she plants it on their property, and then she has Poe. And so he grows up eating fruit from this tree that's been, connected with the Force so much. So that's kind of, I guess, their way of hinting that he's not just a really good pilot. He's got a connection to the Force that he doesn't understand. But not a Jedi or somebody that uses the Force actively like that. But it kind of aids him in being exceptional.
He's no kid with broom.
He's no kid with broom.
Truth.
No, not quite
Truth.
kid with broom, but he is man with ship, so he does a good job there. There's weird stuff going on with the Falcon, and they're trying to work on it, and then they get captured by Han and Chewie. They show up, and then everybody in the theater goes, "Yay!"
Yeah, he's like, "That's my ship. What are
Yeah.
you doing in my ship?"
And Chewie's like, "That's my dog going into this ship. It's also my ship."
Yeah, pretty much.
But of course, he finds him hiding in there and tries to get an explanation. But he's like, "Doesn't matter. Got to get my ship out of here."
I am a fan that they brought back his original jacket look for this one.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what I mean? Because they could have just changed his look completely,
Mhm.
and they didn't. And I do appreciate that.
Yeah, they left it iconic. And Chewie, same old Chewie. Then we see what Han's been up to since he's been up to his old antics of screwing people over and smuggling stuff.
Han would never piss off pirates.
No.
But that's what
Especially
he did.
Scottish pirates.
That's what he do. They are Scottish. What is Scottish?
or whatever.
and,
Sorry, I'll
Russian and Asian.
Mongolian, I think.
Or some sort.
Oh, no, they have zeros on their helmets.
Other ones. But yeah, there's two factions. They both found him. They both want him. So some more chaos ensues, and they let loose this weird. It almost looks like a rolling beholder, like from D&D.
Pretty much.
It's got a big scary mouth on it and a bunch of tentacles coming out. And then Rey kind of uses the Force to perfectly time one of the doors slamming down to save Finn from being taken away by the scary, like terrifying actually, whenever you watch it happening, the rolling thing with giant teeth, like razor sharp mouth, butthole face. It's pretty scary.
I don't like it.
I don't much care for it. But hey, our heroes make it off. And
There's the giant planet-sized Death Star now.
which is called Starkiller Base.
Yes.
Which
That's-
Starkiller is also the name of a character in Force Unleashed video game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, it was
Kinda neat.
Luke's original name,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right.
Truth.
yeah.
That's right.
But then
That's
I guess
no
he changed
moon. You know?
No,
it. Or
that
was
is
it
definitely
Star
not a moon.
Killer? Or did we just say that? We just said
Yeah,
Star
yeah,
Killer.
this is
Okay,
Starkiller
sorry.
Base.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look, it's Snoke.
and yeah, Snoke, but he's a projected image, so he looks giant, talking down to Krennic. No, not Krennic. Yeah,
I think.
Krennic, right?
That
Is that his
sounds right.
name? I
Sounds
think that's
right.
his name. Yeah, Krennic is like kind of the right hand man of Kylo.
You're thinking of something from the
Or am I thinking
Rogue One.
Am I thinking? I am thinking Rogue One.
That's his.
What is his name?
Who cares? Honestly,
Yeah, because Krennic was the one that finds
he's a really
Homeboy
good
on
actor.
the farm.
He's a really
Yeah.
good actor.
He is.
I wouldn't say I like his performance all that much in these movies, but he was in a show that he like really transformed
Mm-hmm.
into somebody else.
And he was also playing the character he was given, which was kind of a
Yeah,
weak. He's a guy in charge, but he's also very weak.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you only
a
see
bit
him like
cartoonish.
twice.
And
so.
see, for me, if we've got that more fanatical, like religious dark side, and then he's just like the administrative side, heir to some whatever,
Right.
and like because he keeps looking at Kylo, and everybody around Kylo just keeps looking at him like, oh my gosh, like he's just willing to go. I don't know. It's just like it's funny how your own little headcanon starts to develop watching it like this, like we are, just kind of skipping through as if it's a slideshow.
Right. Yeah.
It's fun. Like I'm enjoying.
I like watching these movies this
Right,
way.
because you don't get the context, and so you just fill all that in yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find the name of this homeboy.
Oh man,
Hux. It's Hux.
Yeah.
Admiral Hux, right? Or whatever.
yeah, General
Hux.
yeah,
General Hux.
Oh, General Hux.
General Hux is the man that we've been talking about, that Kylo just kind of pushes around quite a bit. But we find that Snoke is the one kind of pulling the strings behind Kylo in his mission. And then we're back to our good boy crew. Good girl and boys.
Yeah, I can't remember what that game's called, but it looks so cool in this one.
I think it's just space chess, right?
No, they had a weird name for it, but that's essentially what it was. It looks like Star Wars version of Harry Potter Wizard Chess.
Yeah.
Dejaric? That's the name of it.
It looks
I don't
cool.
know. That doesn't even sound like something I've ever heard before, but that's the name of it. So says Wikipedia, and I trust them.
Yeah, I would.
This is a moment where they're kind of asking Han questions like about the Jedi, and because Rey's very fascinated by this, And this is when Han says that it's all real. Like it's all real, but he was always a skeptic of everything in the earlier movies, where with the Force and everything, he thought it was just a bunch of kind of like mumbo jumbo. But in this, he admits that no, it's all real. I've been a part of all of it. And I thought that would be a really cool moment, that if you were watching this movie, for whenever he says it was all real, it cuts to episode 4, and then you start watching episode 4, 5, and 6. And then there'll be a moment that cuts back to where then you see young Anakin, and then you come back to Han after he just said it was all real, and then you continue watching this trilogy. That's the dang cut, and that's one no one wants to see. But in my head, it's a real cool moment.
You'd have to watch several of the movies multiple times in order to make that cut.
Yeah, it'd be like
but they could have cut in like little scenes from the other movies, just like little snippets of action shots and like Luke doing Force stuff, and that could have been cool.
It's similar to that thing that someone did on that I saw on YouTube, to whenever old Ben is talking to Luke in his little hut, and he's asking about his dad, and then he's kind of telling that, kind of vague story of what had happened, but in his eye, like it shows little flashbacks of the moments of him, with Anakin, and then him having to kill him, or well, quote unquote, kill him in the end. That was something like that would be kind of neat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For it to happen. I could totally do that. So they've found another planet, and it's just covered in green, and that's when Rey's like, I've never seen this much green before. And then Han's got this look of, that's really sad that you've never seen anything like this.
So where did you grow up on Jakku? He's why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a choice.
I mean, honestly, she's probably never seen green before in her life.
Yeah.
She's
Other than
like,
the Yoda brains. That
right. She's like, what are this color? I don't even know.
She just sees the ground.
She's like, how do you make castles with this tall, hard thing?
Han also lets Finn know he knows he's hiding stuff. He knows he's lying about who he is and what he is, and that he's not actually with the Resistance, because Han still has connection with the Resistance, with Leia being in charge of it all.
They're like a thing, right?
Han and Leia? I don't know. It's a will they, won't they kind of situation, I think.
They're kind of like two parents that have gone through a divorce that still work at the same place, and they're trying to, be civil.
Right.
That's kind of the feel.
They both want to be together, but there's just other things making them not. And yeah.
And there's that like underlying, like, I hate them, but I love them too.
Right. Han also gives Rey her first little blaster, which is, I think, an iconic little look to it, just like his old one with the scope on the pistol for whatever reason. But he's like, you know how to use one of these things? She's like, and he just kind of point and shoot. He's like, well, that's a little bit more than that.
And then she points and shoots.
Later on, yeah. But he's going to see Maz Kanata. That's his little friend, and she's small, and she's got these cool goggles on her face.
The most grandma space glasses.
She's like this movie's Yoda, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, and she's also Chewie's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. She loves that Wookiee. And this place has got some sketchy people and some fun-looking droids.
A Shure microphone from back in the 1960s with a face added around it.
Were they playing Jizz there, too?
They very well could have been playing Jizz at Maz's little cantina, because I guess she doesn't really turn anybody away. It's a place where everybody kind of understands, okay, we come here to get along, just have a drink.
It's like a neutral zone.
Yeah. And she's there. You even see was it the Boba Fett symbol or the Mandalorian symbol, like up on
the Mudhorn?
Is it the Mudhorn, or is it? No, it's not the Mudhorn. It's
I didn't see it.
Mythosaur.
The Mythosaur. Yeah. Did you not see it? Hold on. I think I can get us back to it. It's whenever they're walking in, you see all these banners and all these different symbols up on the building.
Literally dead center.
Is it?
Yeah, literally.
I was thinking that it was.
It's literally dead center. The scene that you had paused on earlier had it dead center of the scene.
Dang it.
Dead center, straight in the middle.
Yep, there it is. Look.
Oh, yep, that it is.
So, yeah, it's just kind of showing all the different banners of all the different types of people that have been there.
I'm not going to get into real crazy stuff, but technically that is Mandalorian, but it's more a symbol of Death Watch, which was a sect of Mandalores.
That is the Death Watch symbol. That's the
Is
one.
it?
That's the like
Yeah.
little.
Oh.
Because Den was a child of Death Watch.
What was the one above it?
Oh, I don't know.
Like a new one, maybe?
I don't think I know any of those. There's probably a few on there that a bunch of Star Wars nerds know exactly what they are. But even though we're the number one Star Wars nerds, we don't know.
Who's that person?
I don't know. She's just somebody that's working for the bad people. She's got some cool
Taking
makeup.
out all
though.
the extras and
She
trying
all-
to invent a story for them.
She also has cold fingers.
Look
Yeah,
at those
what?
fingers. Yeah.
What on
Just
earth?
dip those suckers in some black paint and called it a day.
Is she like half robot?
That reminds me of Mr. Deeds. Look out for Blackfoot.
yeah, yeah, she's got the black fingers.
It's kind of a Maleficent vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Dollar General costume version.
Yeah, the great value Maleficent. We get back on the ship with Kylo, and he's in his room, and he's talking to Vader. Well, Vader's not talking back, but he's just kind of talking to his grandfather. And then we see the melted, nasty-looking Vader helmet, which I don't know why they left those little pieces on the bottom like that, because it does look like he has two little tooths popping up,
Well,
and it makes it kind of funny looking to me.
here's my question.
Go on.
Okay. Because it looks like Vader's skull is in his helmet. Correct? Am I the only one that sees that?
I think you're the only one that sees that.
Yeah, I don't think
Because you can see into the bottom of it.
Well, Vader's helmet was skull-like looking.
Right,
Anyway.
right. Yeah.
So it almost looks like it was fused to his head, but we all know that he died without his helmet on.
True.
It's true, but you can also see to where it is just melted, melted helmet that makes it shaped like that. But I think that might be on purpose to make it look like a skull. Just because also if you look up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little cutout that looks like James Earl Jones's face.
What?
Where?
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna stand up and point to
Are
it.
you going to have to stand up and go point to it to where we see James Earl Jones's face? That part right there?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Huh.
I never would have saw that,
I mean, I don't even know if that's real or
but now that's all I can see.
It's a side profile.
it's all I can see too.
It's a side profile of James Earl Jones.
Interesting.
But did he just Jedi mind trick us into
I
seeing
think
it?
he did.
You're welcome. Also, I've got some acai products that I'd like to really talk to you guys about.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Some elderberry syrup for us to cure all of our... Yeah. Thanks.
Some essential oils. Beachfront
And-
property in Arizona.
We're back to Maz after the cool conversation that Kylo has with Vader's spirit or whatever. I guess he's just trying to contact him through the Force to try to get some advice.
and Poe is still just rocking underwear and dad jacket.
Oh yeah, man, it's
Like, he-
comfortable.
I don't know if he ever actually gets clothes, does he?
Who?
Poe. No, Finn.
Finn.
Eventually he ends up in a little bubble suit thing for getting healed up, but that's later to be seen.
Yeah, but he's
But,
still
yeah, I'm
rocking
thinking-
Stormtrooper underwear and dad jacket.
If nobody was questioning it, I would probably do the same thing. Maz can tell there's something up with, she can tell that Finn's lying about something, and she can also tell that Rey is more than meets the eye. She's not a transformer.
Damn it, I was
but,
ready for it.
I was
I know.
waiting to.
Oh, I know. But she knows something's going on, and then she asks, the way she asks Han who's the girl, and then it cuts away. It made everyone, after this movie was over with, it made everyone go like, okay, so Han knows who she is. And then there was all this theory of like, okay, well, is she actually Luke's kid, or is she maybe Han and Leia's that they had to give up, or all these theories of who she was.
Haven't we already
But
learned?
it didn't go anywhere
at
with
this
that.
point? Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt you.
you're fine.
Haven't we already learned at this point that it's Ben Solo that's Kylo? Hasn't that scene already happened?
No.
No,
not
Is
yet.
that not the first time we see?
No, you learn that like 2/3 through the movie who he actually is.
Yeah, it's a little bit later.
or who
Okay.
he was. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. Wait, has she already been taken down to the basement?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Take me to the basement.
Yeah, that's a cool scene coming up. But Finn's like, hey, this is a good chance for us to get out of here. And she's like, I got to see where this road leads.
Yes.
And so he kind of shoves off with a couple of aliens to go fly away. And then she is led down to the basement by some weird sounds.
I keep hearing
That she
noises,
hears.
and inside of this box, I see Is that a Youngling Slayer 3000?
It sure is.
It absolutely
She finds
It's-
the lightsaber.
It can kill all but Reva.
Anakin, that is Anakin's, yeah. Anakin's lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she kind of makes contact with it, and she's sent through a force journey that is wild and really cool of showing just some things that have happened in her past. She sees a ship leaving Jakku, and she knows that was her parents, but she still doesn't know who her parents are. And then she snaps out of it, and Maz finds her down there, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm being scared." Maz tries to calm her down. Maz is a good character. I like Maz a lot.
She reminds me of my mammy.
Yeah. She's like a little grandma in the movie.
Her eyes look like buttholes, though, and that
Her
kind of
eyes
trips me out.
Do look like buttholes.
Let
It's a
'em-
good thing she wears the glasses most of the time because that increases their size to make them not
That
look
looks
like
like a
buttholes so
butthole.
much. Yeah, another butthole.
Starkiller Base has a butthole.
Starkiller's butthole.
I wonder
is
if that's
what-
where you have to shoot the bomb to kill it.
I know it's where it kills other things.
Where do we need to put this load? Well, I hope you got your hot loads.
Please tell me a sympathetic engineer has designed some fatal flaw into this one.
Ooh, I hope so.
I mean, that is a very cool shot.
Yes.
Just the white and the splashes of red and black. Just that looks just epic.
Yeah, this is on Starkiller Base where we have Hux giving a speech to all the stormtroopers and stuff,
And snow troopers.
and snow troopers,
And whatever that trooper is in the dress.
a trooper. And then you also kind of see just how big Starkiller Base is because there's like snowy mountains surrounding them. Like it is a planet itself.
And we can look into at the horizon line, and we look at a mountain range that's so far back that we can barely see the mist of the mountain range. I mean, this is a well done shot.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
And he's giving his little Nazi speech.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very Nazi. Yeah,
definitely,
even the
yeah.
little,
They even do a Nazi
the
salute.
little Nazi salute ish. They're like, we can't do the real one, but we'll do one similar.
my
He's,
God.
he's preaching destruction of worlds and the genocide of people, and he actually gets too much itch in his niche. And he's it's not going, bitch.
He sure does.
Damn it, Disney's gonna have to edit that out. And then the spirit of Walt Disney comes around. No,
leave
it. No, let it stay.
We see the blast come out of Starkiller, which is behind.
Honestly, that looks scary.
It looks
Paused like that.
terrifying. It looks like a nuke has gone off not far from where they're all standing.
Like an ultra nuke.
Yeah, and it blasts through space, and everyone can see it from the sky, and it demolishes some New Republic. This is a New Republic, right? That's in power. So it demolishes a New Republic, like a few planets. What were you saying, Tony?
I was just going to point out the guy's nose tube that was connected to his gun. It just looked weird.
Oh, I don't like that.
There's like standard goblins back there.
Yeah, it looks
It
like
just, some of the
something-
background
oh.
stuff, man, just weird.
Oh yeah, man. And there's those. Look at those little furry yellow twins, like back there,
Yeah.
back in the center.
Are those minions?
Yeah, I was about
Those
to say,
do look like real life minions. That's terrifying.
Oh, those are minions. Oh my God, where's
Well,
Gru?
You heard it first. Minions are in Star Wars.
Actually,
Canon. It's canon.
It is
now.
canon.
It's
Hold
canon.
on.
There it is.
I had a feeling we'd find something canon today, so I cleaned the spider webs off of that.
nice.
very nice of
Thank you.
So yeah, Kylo's ship has just destroyed a little cluster of planets that had the New Republic. Some higher ups in the New Republic actually were on it because you see like this party going on with a bunch of them. Rey joins back up with BB-8. Some shit's going down, and Kylo and his peeps are showing up.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody with a statue of themselves at their hideout. Like,
A little strange, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. So the stormtroopers are now after Finn.
And then this is one of the things you got to see in like the trailers or screenshots of it. Leading up was just John Boyega's lightsaber kind of wielding a little bit, and you're thinking like, oh my God, is he going to be a Jedi? And it's not the case. He's just a more glorified version of Han slicing open the tauntaun.
Oh, with the lightsaber?
Yeah.
But in this, they really focused, which could have been originally the idea of what to lead him towards. But with the changing of directors, who will know what his actual original purpose was going to be. But the idea of a stormtrooper that has defected and it turns out they have a connection with the Force and becomes a Jedi, like that's cool.
Yeah, I mean the movie's called The Force Awakens. That
Yeah.
kind of gives you like I'm willing to buy like the Force is like something's happening. And they even say that, don't they? Like something's happening with the Force. Like,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
And like it could, and you know, even people who are just slightly Force sensitive start gaining powers, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
So
That would have been
I really
super cool.
like that idea.
And to see the Force being used in ways that's not like sanctioned
Right,
by the
but
government.
also for the dark side.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
then, so that's why they could get away with a little less firepower and still be threatening villains.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this movie the second instance where we see Force healing, or was that one of the following movies?
In the following ones, as far as I know, we see Rey use the Force to heal the snake thing. But I'm trying to remember. I feel like
I thought that was this movie, but I guess I'm wrong.
no, that's a little bit later. That may be the second, or it could even be the third. Actually, there's a lot that happened in the third. I think it's the third. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
it is the third. But when was the first time that Force healing was used?
Mandalorian, Grogu used it first. That was the first time we actually seen it.
That was after
in
this.
any kind of visual medium.
I thought didn't that come out after this trilogy?
We've had this argument before, and we forgot what we Googled.
We forgot
because we
what
have
we
to
Googled,
Google
didn't
it.
we?
I
I
don't
remember
think-
that I was right.
Were you right?
I was right, yeah.
Were you?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I seen it on Mandalorian, and then whichever movie it was in came out after that, and I was like, I done seen this.
Yeah, I thought that this trilogy came out before Mando, but if you were right last time, you'd be right again.
Yeah, part of it did, part of
Yeah.
it didn't.
Gotcha. So yeah, Maz hands the lightsaber over to Finn. It's like, this needs to get to Rey, because Rey didn't want to touch it again because she just had a real bad trip. And now everybody's fighting off the stormtroopers. And then Finn gets called a traitor by one of the stormtroopers, and he chases after him.
Yeah,
and
like,
they
how
have
did he
a-
know?
Yeah, they have a cool... Well, I mean, they've seen each other with their helmets off, right?
Well,
And plus, they probably got Finn's picture up on the ship
True,
on the way
true,
there, like,
right.
hey, this is the guy.
All right.
yeah,
let's go
and
get
he-
him.
And he could
call.
recognize the voice. You know, they could be the same unit. You know,
But the stormtrooper's cool little weapon there, too, whenever it unfolds, where he, like, pushes his arm down and unfolds out, a little vibro...
blade.
beat saber thing. Yeah, then Poe and some of his gang shows up and saves the day. I had counted how many ships he blew up whenever he got there, but I cannot remember the number. But it was so many that I was like, I need to watch this again and count just how many that he takes care of, because it's quite a few. And Finn has no idea that that's Poe, but he exclaims how good of a pilot that he is.
Force healing was used in The Mandalorian and then again used in the Rise of Skywalker, which came out later in 2019 after the premiere of Mandalorian.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were right.
so Tony was
The
right.
second time.
I just had to
Again.
I had to confirm it for date purposes, just because I'm like, I need to know this, because I'm going to question this the entire time. If I don't do this before the episode's over with, I'm going to ask myself this again, because I'm going to forget to Google it.
Well, it'll come up again whenever we watch the
Understood.
third movie, and we'll all be like, I don't know, man. It seems like this
Yeah,
came out before
probably.
Mando. But Kylo has hunted down Rey now, and she skirt. She skirt.
It's I both love and hate his lightsaber.
Yeah,
Like, I love the chaotic look to it because, you know, it said that the blade it echoes what is in the heart of the wielder. I don't like the cross guard. That's stupid.
they're exhaust vents.
I know,
because
but
there's so much in the blade that it can't just be produced out the top.
I
of it.
understand, but it also inhibits your movement. Like, you can't do like some of the twirls and stuff like the other ones, because you're going to stab yourself in the flipping wrist and cut your hand off.
At the same time, too, you'd have to change his style a little bit, but he would also have a different style than other people would have, so he can defend in ways other people don't defend. So he could prevent those down blade strokes. I lost my hand, like the way Luke lost his hand, by having a guard hilt at the bottom to block it with those exhaust vents.
Yeah, he's using more of
mean,
a
I
claymore, while
understand.
everybody else is using more of a katana.
I mean,
right?
I get that. I'm just saying. I personally, as Tiny, love and hate his lightsaber.
It's a good thing that you have both, at least. And he's trying to get information out of Rey here, and she's like, no. So then he just kind of does the old the Star Trek
Vulcan
the
death
Vulcan death grip, but he just does it with the Force, and he's just like, go sleep. She's like, oh, I'm asleep now. And he carries off with her. And then that's when Finn starts his screaming of Rey. And in the later movies, he just doesn't stop. That's all the lines that they gave him in the script was just to scream Rey over and over again.
I think Kylo just demonstrated a part of the Force that a lot of parents wish that they had, and that's he just forced her to go to sleep.
Gave her the Robitussin before bedtime.
And he gave her like, okay, Austin, can you cough? Yep, you need some Dimetap.
Then we see 3PO. That's funny. C3PO.
We
see 3PO.
3PO.
Welcome. And Leia. And
I almost didn't recognize him because of his red arm.
Red arm, which is hilarious, and I love that moment. But he's making it awkward because this is the first time Leia and Han have been around each other in a while, it seems. And then he's like, "Oh, I should probably shuffle off." So he goes in and gets to meet BB-8. They're so old.
They're old.
Well, only one of them is old now.
Yeah, that's true. The other one stopped aging.
And he'll let you know just how old he is.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask him, hey, Mr. Ford, hey, Harrison Ford, do you feel old? This body in which I'm trapped in has imprisoned me in this hell. I'm glad you know my name's not Han or Indiana.
They broke his leg off in this movie.
They broke his leg off?
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon crushed his leg.
Like IRL?
Huh? Yeah. Like he got hurt.
Oh my God,
I don't remember that.
I remember him getting hurt. I couldn't remember what it was from though.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he goes on one of the late night shows, and I don't remember who it is, but whoever it is, it's hilarious. They hand him a Han Solo figure, but here, can you like show us what happened? He just grabs it, breaks the leg. Oh, it's great.
Got to watch that.
Yeah, it's great.
He is so
good.
aggressive.
It's classic.
I love it. A lady asked him how he stayed in shape, and you just thought that he was just dying. He said, "Please stop asking me questions. I don't care about things."
Yeah, I saw that. It was
It's
great.
time for my juice and a nap.
And she's like, "What do you think about people thinking you're still hot?" And he's like, "Just shut up and stop being stupid."
This body is a curse.
We made our way back for the first time to the Resistance camp. Yay. Which it's a Resistance cell, but the New Republic is around, but also the First Order is making their move. So I don't know. Right? Because the First Order isn't like the leading body, like governing body of the galaxy. It's the New Republic.
The New Republic is, and the First Order is rising up back on the streets. They took their time and their chances. So they're going to, take out the New Republic. That's why all those 6 beams destroying 6 planets was a big deal, because that was a big chunk of the New Republic. Right. They just wiped off the map. Okay, we don't got to worry about these folk no more. They did.
See, that's why I'm just wondering, like, this Resistance cell or whatever that Leia is in charge of, I guess it's just their secret army against the First Order, so that way if they have anybody that's feeding information from the New Republic, they can't do that with them. I don't know. I can't remember that part.
See, in Star Destroyer 2, they didn't have to do the whole construction of something out of nothing. They built it into the entire planet.
Oh, not Star Destroyer.
What is it? Star Killer.
Star Killer. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Kill, destroy, synonym for said.
Finn finds out that Poe's not dead. BB-8 also finds out that Poe's not dead because they get to reunite and they have their fun little moment. R2. You see R2. He was under a sheet. He's been deactivated. He deactivated himself.
He's the bestest boy.
After he left Luke.
Yeah.
Because he had to keep Luke's secret of where he was. And he's very sad.
He depressed.
Because Luke was his dad.
Robots got motions.
Robots got motions.
It's a good title for the episode.
And Leia and Han have their little heart-to-heart. And, we're back in Kylo's pleasure chamber. And he's got Rey all strapped up. And this is where he finds out that she's got a lot more in the Force than he realized, because she's able to resist his get in her brain and get info out. And then we see him take off his helmet, and it's just that weird, sexy Adam Driver. I got Ben Solo and Adam Driver mixed up.
Like a male
I'm just
Lady
flustered
Gaga
at the moment. Look at him.
Yeah, he's a male Lady Gaga.
Kind of is.
Yeah, you're welcome, Internet.
Yeah, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Yeah, this is Lady Gaga. And
Or Gagai.
Gagai?
I mean, wouldn't it be Mr.?
Mr. Gaga, Mr. Gaga,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, and Mr. Gaga.
Yeah.
There. It just takes us some time sometimes, but we work together and we figure it out.
Absolutely.
Mr. Gaga is there to show Rey his face, so maybe she'll trust him more. And I'm sure if he would have let her out of the pleasure chamber, that would have helped a little bit more than just showing her his face. But he's still trying to get in there, trying to get information.
And he's like, "You smell nice."
She's like, "I don't know how. I've been in the desert my whole life."
You smell like sand. I don't like sand for some reason.
It's a neat moment of like no communication, just the different facial expressions between the two of them, of her pushing back because she doesn't even realize she has the Force.
But hold on, that's still communication.
Nonverbal,
Just nonverbal Yeah.
communication. Thank you.
It's all body language and face stuff.
Much of it.
And Force stuff.
And Kylo goes to Snoke. He's like, "Who is this? She's more powerful than me, Papa." And he's got to find out.
It's definitely not my other clone's granddaughter for sure.
Surely not.
Surely not.
So then we get back to the pleasure chamber, and the stormtrooper that's in charge of the door to make sure that Rey doesn't get up to anything weird is actually Daniel Craig. Who plays recently
James
was
Bond
007.
is in Star Wars.
James Bond's in Star Wars
canon.
And she...
Oh, I was thinking somebody totally different.
Which one were you thinking?
I was thinking the guy from Hot Tub Time Machine. When you said that, I was like, wait.
When I said Daniel Craig?
You mean Craig Robinson?
Yeah, that's where
that'd
my
be so much
brain went.
better.
That would have been so much better.
We need Craig Robinson in Star Wars.
Daryl from
Well,
The
isn't Jack
Office?
Black
Yeah.
in Star Wars canon now?
Yeah, him and Lizzo.
Yeah, they did great.
I mean,
but-
Kevin Smith is in here somewhere too as a stormtrooper.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Later, we have Seth Rogen in Mandalorian, but he can only do Seth Rogen's voice. So when he's talking through the alien, like all I can see is Seth Rogen.
I can't remember.
Or no, that was Obi-Wan. That wasn't Mandalorian. That was
Yeah, it was
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
him and baby Leia are escaping. But
Yeah, the place where he's like, "Hey, sit still, don't move." She's like, "Okay, move."
move. Don't sit still at all. Do everything he doesn't say to do. But here, Rey uses the old Jedi mind trick on Daniel Craig on 007. And 007 at first is like, what? No, I'm not going to let you free. And then she like focuses up real good and tries it again. He's like, all right. So then, no, what was it? Remove the restraints or something?
Yeah.
I think is what she said.
You want to remove the restraints? I'll remove the restraints.
And then he does it. But Kylo comes back and, ooh, boy, is he mad. Oh, he's angry. Ooh, he's so mad. He throws a fit.
He does throw a big old Kylo Ren fit.
Yep.
He's as mad as an old wet Ren.
Starkiller Base has to absorb a lot of energy in order to be used again. So it shows them absorbing a bunch of energy to be able to blow up some more stuff.
Yeah, don't they got to like go close to a sun?
I think so. I think they basically devour a sun.
like have a sun suppository and then piss it out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're back to the Resistance and a familiar scene from just like other Star Wars movies of the Resistance meeting with her
And Lost.
Lost with her little hologram maps.
Oh, I'm talking about the two characters.
Oh wait, which ones?
That guy was the pilot.
Yeah.
And then that guy was Miles.
Okay.
And that
Yeah,
guy
you were
likes
And
to
Heroes as well.
that guy likes to tell you that there are traps. It's a trap.
Wait, no, Akbar's dead.
He
That's
is,
not Akbar.
but that's what their species is there for, to tell you if there's traps.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, that's not Akbar. Akbar
He's-
died.
We're not good at much else, but we can tell you when there's traps.
Without
Look,
their-
his species, he's an Akbarian, okay?
on calamari.
Without their chess pieces that translate, all you can hear is their native language. It's like I am Groot, but it's a trap.
Is it trap?
It's a trap.
Over and over again?
It's a trap.
I like that. It's time for them to suit up and go save Rey. So Rey's trying to make her sneaky escape after she tricked 007, and then the Millennium Falcon crashes down, and they're going to go in there, and they're going to get her. Han gets to use Chewie's blaster here in a second. He's always wanted to, and then he uses it, and he's like, wow, that thing's powerful, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. It's the equivalent of like a shotgun.
Right. Rey shows that they do the whole where the movie started off, and she's climbing around on a bunch of ships, scavenging. It shows her using those skills to make her way through different areas of Starkiller.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Na-na-na-na.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Making my way through ships. One is wrecked. I am wrecked. We're all wrecked.
Oh boy! Then the Resistance X-wings show up and they're blasting some cover, and Rey almost shoots everybody in the face because they do the old turn the corner after they're all trying to not be found, and her best friend Finn get to hug. Finn's really good at just becoming people's best friends like right away.
Yeah, like so
and
fast.
I could see, I bet he and I would be best friends pretty quickly.
I think that circa 2007 to 2012, Shazam would know all about that.
Yes.
You just also have to be careful around him, because if you get real bad hurt, he's going to take an article of your clothing and you'll never get it back.
Yeah, and you have to become his parent.
Pretty much.
So that's a whole another level of responsibility.
Yep.
Chewie and Han are planting some explosive devices, and Kylo senses his father
Is that my dad?
being near, and they go out on the catwalk and meet one another in the middle. This is an epic moment. I know people are mad that Han died, but I mean, if an epic character is going to die in the series, wouldn't having your son that went to the dark side like slay you on the middle of a catwalk like in order to complete his journey to the dark side be a pretty cool way to go?
I mean, yeah, but I think a lot of people had a problem because it wasn't like a conflict. It was just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
They were standing there just kind of talking.
Right.
It wasn't this big epic battle. So I think that's where a lot of people had
Right.
the issue.
But the conflict was emotional conflict.
Absolutely.
Which is more meaningful than a lightsaber battle. What, Marcus?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I think they should have at least had them all on screen together before, like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher.
Oh, meeting all of them.
At some point, I just feel like if Han Solo's going to die, it needs to be in some sort of heroic way.
Right.
He just had a stress response.
Yeah, this
phase.
is a really good picture for the episode. We finally came across one here.
I'm going to do it,
I mean,
Daddy.
we've had a few, but I just forgot to take the picture. So
That's probably the best one we've seen.
yeah, that one's pretty good.
Also, there's something that feels weird about it being their first scene together, I think, too.
Also, that their weird first scene ends with him saying, "I'm going to put it in you, Daddy."
And then he do.
Yeah,
He
I feel
does.
like they could have at least had like another scene or like a flat. I don't know. I think it's very hard to like, hey, 30 years later, and not explain anything that came before. Like, I mean, that's what you want to do because you don't want to bore the audience with a bunch of, oh, well, and this happened. But
Right.
I think sometimes that just is not easy to do.
Well, you need some of it,
Yeah, you've got to have some of it.
Yeah, too much exposition and people get bored again.
Talkie.
He tells him,
Stabby.
I know
Folly.
He says, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And then he does it because Han's like, I believe in you.
Then his dad, being the age that he is, he says, "Son, I know this pain," and hands him a bottle of Miralax.
And then we see Han's dead body falling. And Leia feels his death in the Force, which is very sad because she's like way away from there and can feel that it happened. And Chewie goes on a rampage.
They killed his dog.
Yeah.
They killed his dog.
He goes full John Wick.
And he goes exactly what I would do. I would blow up the planet, and that's what he's trying to do.
He actually shoots Kylo.
He does. He shoots him in the side, like it kind of gets him right in the side.
Yeah. And later he's like punching it.
Yeah, to
I'm
give
like,
himself.
oh my God.
It's getting him more of that dark side energy, baby.
See, I kind of like that about Kylo.
He was a little bit that emotional base that you got to draw that dark side energy off of. He had a little bit on that extra chaotic,
Yeah, I like that.
He meets Rey and Finn as they are running through the asbestos-filled forest. That could be snow.
Salt.
It could be
It's
snow.
salt.
Or it's salt. Yeah, sure. It's salt, snow, asbestos. But then Rey gets knocked out there, and then Kylo's coming for Finn. And then Finn gets the lightsaber. Another moment that you see in the trailer.
Yep.
Which this movie is also another reason why I don't watch trailers anymore. But it's a fun little fight there, but Kylo makes quick work of him and then slices him up his spine, which was gnarly. And then he uses the Force to try to get the lightsaber.
And Rey does use the Force to get the lightsaber.
And she gets the lightsaber.
And then she shinks it up.
but she hasn't used it yet either.
Nope.
Like this is the
Like,
first
she's
time that
never
she's had
used
it.
one.
Yeah.
Nope, she's fought with a stick before. So she's like, well, this is a stick that glows. Let's see how this goes.
It's a half of a stick that glows on one side.
That sounds like a Jedi's creed that hasn't been made yet, like in a military cadence. This is a stick that glows on one side. It could be yours, but this one is mine.
And then,
Boom.
yay! The X-wings blow up It's some kind of like transmission deal that gives the planet the ability to, I guess, consume energy. I don't even remember.
It's a MacGuffin.
It's some kind of thing that they just had to go there and do. But it get a pretty good fight between Rey and Kylo in the woods in the snow. It's just it's a pretty iconic scene between the two of them. Rey holds her own, and people are like, how could she ever fight against Kylo, who's been trained in the Force the first time, blah, 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 blah. Kylo's not trying to kill her. Kylo wants her to come to his side because he can like feel the Force and something different in her. And he's not trying to kill her. So people need to just calm down.
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down.
And
Just calm
also,
down.
we didn't know at that point that she was a bioengineered Palpatine.
That's also true.
Because, I mean, she's made as a conduit for the Force.
Hey, she is an adopted Skywalker.
She is.
She adopted
Spoiler.
herself into the Skywalkers.
Is that what they were doing, though? Because I
Yeah.
honestly think that their plan had to have changed at some point.
I mean,
Because they're setting it
makes
up in this
sense.
movie that she is somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
That's a gnarly scar on his
Yeah,
face.
that is gnarly. It stays there for a while, too.
Yeah.
Like where she sliced him up on the face there. But then the Earth literally splits between the two of them. And that way she's able to get away. And she goes to the
How
Falcon.
our forces combine.
And that is cool later on with the combination of force between the two of them. It's real neat.
Then Finn's dead again.
Finn's dead, but he's hanging on. He's hanging in there. Chewie finds him and snags him.
He's like, I got a new puppy.
I'll take you from the rescue.
He's like, since I lost my dog, I will take this puppy.
Oh, man. Oh, that's actually, this is an early moment of the sister of Rose. This is Rose's sister, who later on, the Tulip. Yeah, I like that. Tulip. She, in the next movie, ends up dying. Spoiler.
Spoiler. Just,
Yeah, we could just preface all of this with spoiler. Sorry. They land back at the Resistance. Chewie runs Finn in there to get all healed up, and then Rey meets Leia, and they hug it out.
Look, I feel like at this point, if you're watching a scene it, you know it's spoiler laced, so we don't have to tell
absolutely.
you.
We don't have to say anymore.
So if you get mad, it's your fault.
It's your fault, but we still love you.
R2's like the weird uncle that has penetrated every other robot non-consensually along the way.
Yeah.
And he's just now waking up, and BB-8's like, new friend?
No,
Penetrate.
no, not even close, buddy.
You're a robot, aren't you?
But BB-8 gets to show them the information he has, and it can line up with the information that R2 has for them to be able to find Luke.
And then we find out that R2 is actually his father.
Luke's father?
No, BB-8's.
Oh, is that right? That's another spoiler that I didn't.
What?
That's a spoiler for me.
Well.
It's exciting, though. And Rey's in more of a get-up for the next movie. And
Not as cool as her previous costume, I will
no,
say.
I did like the first one more than all the ones following. Although the one in the third movie, the white, looks really good with
Yeah,
the
it
hood.
does.
Looks
And
awesome.
the build-up for all of this in the theater was absolutely insane, though, because I can remember she's like, because we were thinking like, okay, it'll end with her going to go to this other planet. No, it ends with her on this other planet. You see her walking up this grand staircase that's like 200-300 steps long, climbing up the side of a mountain. All of a sudden, you're at these stone huts. She sees this hooded figure over the water, turns around, and who is it? Jimmy Buffett. Mark freaking Hamill,
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker himself standing there staring at her, and what does she do? She says,
I got a stick with a light on one end of it. And he's all like, I got a robot hand. Watch it. It can take off my hood. She's like, will you please take this small stick with a light on one side of it?
She's like, I found this. I was told it was yours.
She said,
What?
She said, I heard this cost you an arm. And then he takes the lightsaber from her. Or does he?
Who knows? It cuts to credits, and then everyone is excited for the second movie.
Where he just
And he
throws
just
it.
throws it over his shoulder.
Because it went from this Luke to an insane Luke who likes to milk moose, but they are bugs.
Right?
And their milk is really pussy.
Don't say pussy.
Don't spell it because it looks like
Oh, no. Man, I got so close. I didn't have to make a note. Oh, dang it. Beans. It doesn't matter. I'll just edit the whole episode.
Wow.
The end. And it's that epic moment of her, of the will he, won't he take the lightsaber from her. As we said, they start the next movie off with "This isn't your parents," Star Wars, of him throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
playing
But that's not what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
We're going to continue to do that for the rest of the series.
it was the Youngling Slayer 5000, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it either.
It had to be destroyed, but it could have. I don't know. It could have been like disassembled and used the parts to make something great that was used for good. It could have went so many different ways. Like don't reforge ice into like Widowmaker and Dumb Thing and Oathkeeper, whatever stupidness.
Sting.
Yeah, it could have been cool and it wasn't. Just chuck it over a hill.
Feel like this is one of, I've said it many times in the past, I think my favorite Star Wars movie, just because for some reason I connect way more with Rey than I ever did with Luke, for whatever reason. I like it more. But just like all the other Star Wars movies, of every single one that's ever been made, you can make fun of it as it goes. Like it's something like, for all the cool that it has in it, it's very easy to make fun of because Star Wars is ridiculous, and that's part of why we love it. But do you like? Am I the only one that puts this at the top of my? I know I'm the only one that puts it at the top of my list, but like even up there and even close to the top, because I know Marcus, these three are pretty much at the bottom.
I mean, this one's better than the Phantom Menace. I mean, I'll give you that.
Well, thank you. I at least get that.
It's better than Phantom Menace. It's probably better than Clone Wars. Also,
I mean,
Okay.
it ranks along episode 3 for me as far as the way that I like it. Empire, Return, 3, and this one.
Gotcha.
It's probably number 4. Yeah.
I mean, my opinion is, for a long time, I was a prequel just hater to me that didn't exist. And the older I get, the more I go, you know what? They're not that bad. They're not great, but they're not that bad. And then when these come out, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad they exist because I love Star Wars. It don't have to be exactly what I want Star Wars to have been. Mm-hmm. And it can have some really dumb things like a Sith dagger. And I can still enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm living.
Kind of the same thought as the prequels.
I'm
but
a lore
better.
junkie, though. Like, if I'm going to get into something, I want to get into the nitty gritty, the lore. And so I think this just creates too many problems for me. Yeah. I grew up with the prequels. I'm sure if I'd have grown up watching the original Star Wars and then the prequels come out, I probably would have been pissed. Mm-hmm. I think it's just my personality. I think I want a coherent lore. That's like probably extremely hard to do, especially when it's being passed around with different hands, different creatives.
Yeah, I
think they just approached it the wrong way, but that's just my opinion. Someone who likes the deep lore.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying, and the problem with it is they keep changing what's canon and what isn't canon.
Exactly.
You know, because we had the G canon, the D canon,
right? Well, I guess
the new canon, just all these different canons. So we're not getting a consistent story. So it bounces around, and so we run into the fact of that's not my canon. Then they're like, well, I know people like this, so we'll just talk about the Knights of Ren, and we'll see them like once or twice, but we won't go into that. We'll bring in a stormtrooper and make him turn good. You know, so we'll just bring that in. You know, we'll do all these little things just to get people to like us. It's like that one chick that tries too hard to be hot. That's kind of where we're living.
You mean
with
like
Star Wars.
I think you're right.
Just trying all the tricks and makeup and everything else in the world that you can to make yourself boosted. Where at your base form, you probably, as a story, were good enough to exist on your own.
I think we're talking about like deep analytics, lots of test audiences, lots of data that they poll things on and just make committee decisions. Like, well, what is Star Wars? Well, Star Wars is cantinas playing jizz and this and that. And so they have to stuff all of that in there instead of being actually creative. There are moments, this is my favorite one of the sequel trilogy. And like I said, probably better. I'd probably rather sit down and watch this one than to sit down and watch the two I said, Phantom Menace and Clone Wars.
What's weird with the different, like the 3 sets of trilogy movies, the first trilogy was, we're not here necessarily to please anyone. We have a story and we want to tell it and we'll see what happens. And it was different and new and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And then they went a little bit too far into that of, this is the story I want to tell within Star Wars to show why things happened the way it did. And no, everyone was like, none of us asked for this. Like, we didn't want Anakin as a kid. Like, we didn't need that. And then with the third trilogy, it was the opposite of, we need to please everyone. And when you try to please everyone, you please no one, because nothing goes hard in any direction. It just kind of feels like you said, like, here's the cantina with jizz. Like, people like that. Or, you know, here's lightsabers, you know, and here's the Skywalkers.
Here's a very reminiscent scene
Palpatine.
of Obi-Wan's death, but
Right.
here, this time it's Han Solo. So it's like they're just trying to mimic it a little too closely in this
Yeah.
movie for me.
Well, and I think it was George Lucas himself tried to justify the different trilogies because they're like, they kind of feel like rehashes of the same story of the original 3. And he's like, well, it's like a poem. All
rhymes,
three trilogies rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which,
feel
I
like that
mean-
was just a poor justification for lack of creativity.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cop out of progressing a story to somewhere nowhere near where it was to begin with. But it seems like they're very scared of Star Wars to expand beyond its origins.
Yeah,
they
are.
need to keep it within the, I don't know, the pool of the planet of Star Wars.
What
It
they
has
have
to stay
defined
within the
Star
gravity of
Wars
the planet.
as.
Right.
Yeah, they've defined Star Wars as for this type of audience. And not only that, we're Disney, and so we only put out a certain caliber of violence and things like that, or darkness. Like, oh, that's too dark. You know, he can't be an alien. He's got to be like Han Solo's son. That's like a bad boy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's a bad decision. I'm just saying I think they put way too much thought into things like that.
Yeah, and they're almost bound to the thought of good versus evil, whereas they could have brought it together and made it like bringing about the gray, because that become its own thing in Star Wars and the different novels and things. And that's where I thought they were going, and that is not where they went, because it would have been so much cooler to just blend those together to make something unified and harmonious instead of just leaving that dichotomy of, you know, light and dark.
Well, a long time ago, they decided we're not going to do middle ground, because they even edited the moment where Han shot Greedo. They edited it to where, like, Greedo shot at him first, so he was defending himself.
Very controversial
But originally, like, Han just shoots him, like, because he's a bad dude. Like, he's not a good guy.
And he was still defending himself,
right?
But it was being proactive
And
instead of reactive.
It's that weird, like, oh no, like a good guy wouldn't just shoot him across the table. But they're like, no, he's a good guy. Like, he's a good guy. He got shot at, so
he's literally chaotic good.
Right.
Rey being the granddaughter of Palpatine and being, I think, the balance to the Force herself, with this being the end of supposed Jedi. She's the last one around that's Force sensitive, da-da-da-da. But if they really do away with Order 66 and they basically retcon all the, you know, the Jedi are dead, so now she's going to have this entire other flock of people that she can go to that can band together and fight whatever the next cosmic bad is.
This is speculation, right? This is just rumors that they're undoing Order 66.
There was talks of it,
Right.
that they were going to retcon Order 66 out of existence,
Well,
so
to
they
where-
could bring in all these dead Jedis that people love
Yeah.
to, guess what, try to make money.
Exactly.
But
So I'm saying-
instead, they're just going to shoot themselves directly in their testicles.
Oh my
It's not to
God.
where 66 didn't happen. It's to where they survived those attacks. To where what you saw on screen wasn't them dying completely.
It's the same
right?
difference.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't
That's-
know. We could
that's a
speculate about
rumor.
that.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
judge it when we see it.
I just want a continuation of the story of what happened after he fell out of the mace window.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
dead.
No,
He fell hundreds and thousands of feet.
there's no telling if that
That's
really
a
actually
dead bitch.
Nah,
That's
So did
dead.
Palpatine. So did Palpatine.
It's true.
Yeah,
So did Luke in the
true.
second movie.
yeah, and he just
survived.
and he well, at least Luke had hands though.
Boba Fett crawled out of the maw of a.
He was
The-
wearing Beskar.
worm thing.
Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit, yeah. Like, and he's just a guy. He doesn't even have the Force.
Yeah.
But he had Beskar, the strongest metal that can withstand even a lightsaber.
Wait, Boba had Beskar?
Yes.
I didn't know his was Beskar.
But for me,
I didn't know that
They
either.
said it in the show.
this is a weird.
They remade it
sorry.
canon. Which
Gotcha.
is good. Anyway, go ahead.
No, sorry. This is a weird dichotomy for me, foreshadowing our next episode of Seen It. For me, going into The Last Jedi, almost the best Star Wars movie ever. Like, literally this close to being the best Star Wars movie ever, but just somehow happens to be the worst.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a weird thing, but for me, that's exactly what it is. It's almost the coolest Star Wars movie ever made, but somehow it sucks.
we may be able to pinpoint why it sucks for you whenever we
Maybe,
watch it.
maybe. Well, definitely has to do with like the B plot. That was
Right.
terrible.
And
but the A plot was like,
And if it wasn't
Solid.
for the next movie, I would not demand extra the way that I demand extra by just saying more.
More.
I'm confused.
It's the moment of Kylo whenever he's ordering them to fire. At Luke's ghost.
More.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Force projection.
We'll get there. Yeah, force projection. He wasn't a ghost yet. Spoiler. Oh wait, we don't have to say that. Yeah,
Everything's a spoiler.
he becomes a ghost later. Thanks for seeing it with us. It was fun. It was a good time of this series of the podcast.
Yeah.
which is honestly the most fun I've ever had watching Star Wars, I think, besides getting to see them the day they come out in the theater. Wherever you listen to this, keep doing that and put 5 stars and blah. We say it all the time. You know how podcasts end. Go do the thing where you give us a good rating and then go buy a shirt or something off of the website. There's a thing in the description. Do that.
And if you'd like to talk to us, get on our social media. Look up Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Nerd Grapevine. You talk to us on there about anything you'd want to. If we've gotten something wrong along the way and you want to correct us, make sure you do, because we absolutely love being corrected via messages on the internet. So
But it has to start with actually.
has to have a actually, and if you do wear glasses, you have to send me a picture of you pushing them up. So just get on there. Let's talk about whatever. If you think that it could have been done better the way that Han Solo died, and you'd want to tell us how you would have had Han Solo die, usually, let us know. I will let everybody else know. I will be your medium or double XL, whatever. So if you want to give us some money, contribute to the podcast, get on Patreon, look up Nerd Grapevine, and donate at least $5, and you'll get a shiny holographic sticker. You'll unlock extra content. You'll also, supporting us is the main thing, though, just because, we'd like to build more followers. We'd like to get more stuff to podcast, and we'd like to eventually recoup a little bit of the money that Dane's put into the podcast.
That'd be nice. That'd be super cool. That'd be awesome.
It's not really all that much. Just like,
Oh, no, it's a lot.
It's not really that much.
Oh, it's
just,
plenty.
It's just a used car. So, just do that. That'd be great. But whatever you do not try to get the government to pay for your debt for podcasting, because then it'll cost you to have a lot of.
On our Patreon, you can find timestamps of every pause for every episode of Seen It, so you can replicate watching the movie just like we did. Dane has done that.
Oh no!
So there's that. Also, when you get on there and you realize that I'm lying to you, it will cause discord down inside your body. Spoiler alert. Scroll down to the description of the episode of wherever you listen. It's usually somewhere like where you click. You might have to click an extra button to actually get to the description, and you'll find a link that takes you to our Discord. Get on there and chat with us. We're on there and we do memes, and as we all know, we're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
Also, got some content on YouTube. And I'm trying to think of a funny way to ask someone, one person in this group, who is going to put, what is it, the line? When life gives you grapes, Dane.
What I'm going to do when life gives me grapes, I'm going to take one of them, I'm put it on the ground, I'm going to squish on it, and I'm going to be real sad because I got really close to that grape, and now I believe it to be dead because I've squished on it. But I'm going to take the skin of the grape, and I'm going to put it over my shoulders, and I'm going to wear the jacket of my once grape father, and I'm going to save the world.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I'm going to shoot everyone in their butts. Just because I guess a butt has to be involved.
With what?
Someone decided that.
I don't know. We've just been shoving things in our butts so long.
I know. I decided this time I don't want anything in my butt. I'm going to shoot other butts.
So you're forcefully putting something in other butts.
No.
If you shoot a butt,
he's expanding the lore.
Expanding the lore of shooting the butts.
Okay, so so now you've got a super cape from a dead relative grape,
right?
And it's giving you superpowers to shoot other people's butts with grapes.
Grape juice, yeah.
Grape
It's
juice.
like a bidet. I'm like Badane. That's my superhero name. I'm the Grape Badane.
With the power of the ancestral grape cape, he has become the ass blaster himself, the Great Badane.
Be cleansed.
Ba, 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 ba.
It cuts to credits, and then everyone is excited for the second movie.
Where he just
And he
throws
just
it.
throws it over his shoulder.
Because it went from this Luke to an insane Luke who likes to milk moose, but they are bugs.